The adventures of Colton and Trevor begin. Butt fanning. I want you to run away from a rabid dog. It's gonna take a lot to impress me, baby. You flew, how was it?
My ball was starting to hurt.
Well, okay then. I'm so sorry about your ball. I mean, I was hot, that's for sure. I was one sexy. No, you may ask, do I still get nervous? Yes. That was a good landing. He did throw up all over my paramotor yesterday. I go get in my obnoxious truck that's compensating for obvious things. Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to Cedar Valley Airport and another YouTube video. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different. I'm sure you've noticed if you've combed through my channel or watched a whole bunch of videos that a lot of them are just completely focused on paramotoring and tend not to have much personality beyond that. Well, we're gonna introduce a little bit of a new style of content. We add a little bit more real life to it. A morning in the life of teaching paramotoring. Today is day number 3 of our adventure training. I am a cup of coffee and half an energy drink in to my day. This whole business just runs on caffeine. I hold it together without my caffeine. I need it. Anyways, we've got a great mix of guys here. One of them is at 25 flights. He hasn't flown in 5 years. Keep running, keep running. Work your right hand up, a little bit more, right hand up, a little bit more. Beautiful job. You did it.
You're freaking awesome.
3 other guys all working on energy management. One of them is just about to go up and do some wingovers, so you get to watch the phone call I make with him where we talk about the wingovers. 2 of them are going up to dissipate, hard word for me, energy. We're gonna watch that and talk while I sip on my coffee. You know, I've flown paramotors for a long time, most all of my life, and it's still cool to me to watch a bunch of paramotors take off and fly. Butt fanning. Well, we're currently dissecting a motor. I'm blipping the throttle on the low end of the RPMs to see how the low jet is running. The low jet was running way too rich, then it would die down, it'd bog out, because I richened it way too much yesterday. Okay, now let it warm up and we'll adjust your idle. So I overleaned and then re-richened. I don't claim to be the best at tuning motors. Let's do some wingover things. We got some guys up there. Yo, Ryan, what's up? Go ahead and climb up like 1,000 feet. And I'm gonna call you back, and then we're gonna burn off some energy together. Ciao, ciao. Wingovers is one of the biggest things that we do and teach at the adventure training.
Hello?
Hey, let's do some wingovers.
Da-da-da-da-da. That's true, puppy. Do-do-do-do-do.
So you definitely could carry those around all the way. Carry, 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 carry. Good, hands up, weight shift left, and too late to the left. So as soon as you get it over to one side, you immediately want to start thinking about the other side and moving that direction. Take a couple sways to get some energy in the wing, get some inertia in the glider, feel that pendulum, beautiful, and carry it around further to the right. Carry, carry, carry. Now weight shift left, go left. Good, now weight shift right, go right, go right, go right. Good, breathe, weight shift left, go left. The big thing to point out, or that I want to point out, is that after you got going over, you started going the other way, which is super important. That way you're not rotating the opposite direction that you're trying to go. It's important you're rotating the direction you're trying to go. Now it's gonna be about better timing and getting your brakes all the way up and waiting a little longer. Oh yes, Sean, crushing it. What I've learned with wingovers, it's 3 main pieces of it. And once you have been explained those 3 main pieces, you understand them, then we kind of do them together. That was beautiful. Go ahead and build up just a little bit more energy. Let me see you exit a little higher. Once you understand those things, then it's actually stupid simple. Wingovers are a little easier than I think people think they are. You just have to know what you're looking at and what you're supposed to do and how it's supposed to feel. Looking good. 1, 2, set down 3. Absolutely money, and that rhymes. I'm not the only one anymore that does this, but we kind of started doing this 1, 2, 3 landing system. I suppose I'll share it to the world because it is pretty helpful. 1 is your ears, 2 is your belly button, 3 is your butt. Instead of giving commands of a little brake, little more, which is common in the instructor world, I started saying 1, 2, 3 because then it eliminates this question mark of what a little bit is and a little bit more. I suppose you could define 1 through 10 and walk someone through that, but I have found 1 to be really good at rounding a pilot out, 2 at keeping that round out going, set down in 2 so you still have forward momentum, and then 3 once you've set down to kind of help soften the set and not let the wing overfly you. If you set down in 3, it's more of a plop. If you set down in 1, it's fairly fast and hard. Your pro landing tips. Hey, so why don't you go ahead and bring it on in and land and let's chat about it. I tend not to want pilots to do more than 3 to 5 runs of wingovers or spirals at a time, just because getting airsick can happen fast, and I know you probably don't. So come in, land, and now let's refine the technique because it's looking really good, and with a little effort, you could barrel roll. So barrel rolls, everybody thinks of them as this really difficult thing. A barrel roll is a 360 wing over, just vertical. That's it. Now, what makes it look like a barrel roll and be a proper one is you have enough energy and your timing is correct to where you actually go over the top. But the basics of a barrel roll, you could do entering early and just kind of a straight down 360 spiral. And then as he gets better at building it and holding on to the energy, he can go higher and higher. Really, in order to do like an over the top barrel roll, you need full throttle. Yours look just as buttery as he does. It's just you doing it. So don't sell yourself short. Have a little confidence there, champ. You landed downwind yesterday.
Dude, I did.
And you greased it. And I had $1 or $5 on you face planting. So don't sell yourself short here, guy. I've really learned it's the little things that really differentiate instructor to instructor and school to school. It's the little things that I really try and focus on. A lot of them are mind games, like figuring out the right mindset and setting the right tone in their brain and showing them the right things and the right process, that like night and day difference. Okay, what are we looking at? Yeah, so right, you grab the whole thing like that. And then, see, I put my pointer finger right there. And then with the A, I just rest the whole thing on my thumb like that.
Because I was doing this, and then when I went like that, and then when I went to release, all of a sudden I did this.
Yeah, I personally pinch with my throttle. With this throttle, you're not going to be able to, and you're just going to have to do that.
So then how do I just shake it off?
To let go, you just slip your thumb out. Okay. It'll just slide out to the side. But the little things, man, like we talked about, that's the stuff that makes the huge difference between how I ran classes in 2022 to how I run classes in 2025. I am so sad that my coffee is all the way out. We'll see how I hold it together without my caffeine. You need to understand the three main phases of a wingover and the three main things, which is essentially timing, rotation, how far do you carry it, the rotation of the dive, and then your entry timing to the next one. That's a wingover in like the most basic bare bones sense. And so Sean, with you now, the thing that we're gonna start working on is how far do you carry it around so that you're not under carrying it or over carrying it every single time. And then maximizing the energy you build in the dive, which we talked briefly about by getting your hands up. For you, I want you to burn off energy still. All right, so we did our pendulum. Like that's the first thing. I need you to understand this natural flow of this glider, because all a wingover is this natural flow of a glider on a larger scale. So once we've dialed that, now can you get rid of all this energy that we're gonna build up at a moment's notice, unintentionally, which is always gonna be a vertical, right? So if like you screw up a wingover and you exit like late or whatever, like you're just really late on it, you're gonna go up. Can you catch that and fly away with a big smile on your face versus, having to change your pants? Because you'll be okay. Yeah. Because what did you learn about the collapses?
They're no big deal.
They're not that big of a deal. The thing with collapses is they're nowhere near as big of a deal as you think they are. It's a question of why, because depending on what the answer of why is, now it can be a big deal. The big idea here is getting the wing exiting perfectly straight up, and you can be correcting that all the way to the top. The wing's naturally gonna want to go the other way. It's the pendulum, right? So you actually have to keep that wing going straight, and you can have that input in all the way until you're at the top. Ideally, your hand's high at the top. Wing comes forward, we're looking at 1 o'clock, catch, fly away. I want this like moment where you catch and it the world freezes and then you fly away. And after you've caught, the hands go back to 0. Only reason that I'm kind of adamant about it is because if the dial gets turned up to like really intense, meaning like you screw a wing over up bad and you just straight up, that wing is gonna shoot really hard. And if you're in natural habit, because it's what you've been doing is like light, it's gonna give out. So you need to be pulling to the point in which the wing is stopping. That point changes depending on how hard the wing shoots forward, and you should feel that out as it goes. So essentially I'm pulling to the point where it stops. This catching of the surge in the sky is the same concept as catching the surge on the ground. Only we're catching it further forward than you do on the ground, right? You have to catch it pre-12 o'clock on the ground. You have to catch it post 12 o'clock in the sky. And so that's why I say I look at 1 o'clock and I pull at the point in which I stop the wing at 2. And then as soon as I've stopped the wing, I'm back to 0 and I fly away. When you dive over and throw your hands up, all of a sudden that you give that wing permission to build as much energy as possible. If you keep 1 inch, 2 inches of brake on in that dive, you've just killed 30% of your energy. And so as soon as you get it over and you get it pointing down, I'm hands high. And then for the rotation in the dive, because you want to be rotating the way you want to go, I touch tip steering, because does tip steering take any energy? No. And I pull weight shift. So like I'll do this big wing over, right? And I'm not afraid to pull brake if I need it to stop the rotation. But as soon as I get it over to the right spot, I weight shift and grab tip to the other side, so that by the time I'm near the bottom, my wing is already low to the side I'm gonna go. Does that make sense? As an instructor, you have to ask yourself how much to help, how much not to help, when not to help. It needs to be a question because you wanna instill independence and confidence in the student's ability to do it. What I've learned is you're never really gonna have the perfect balance because every single student's gonna be different. Every single day is going to be different. I like to favor more independence than less independence. Pre-backcountry PPG, we were like all hands on, like did everything for students. And what I saw is when they left, they had no self-confidence and independence and didn't know how to do it. And that just led to a lower success rate in students flying at home. So I've taken it like all the way to the extreme side, and I've brought it back a little bit to where I feel like there's a sweet spot on helping. That's just a little interesting thing that I've thought about. I call it radical independence. Relax, close your eyes for a moment, visualize a really beautiful, easy inflation. Give yourself mental permission to screw it up in pursuit of perfect technique. Run, Forrest, run, run, run. Little throttle, little throttle, little throttle. There you go. Get your brakes down a little deeper. Stand up a little taller, chin high, chest high, little more throttle. Little more throttle, little more brake. There you go, and little more throttle. Brakes, 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 brakes. Nice. So that turns into a flight really easy. In that moment right there, had we just squeezed to full throttle and kept the brakes down, kept the feet down, we would have lifted off and flown away. Now, as soon as you're done, it's best practice to kill the motor. So like as soon as you eased off and got into those brakes, it would have been best to have just immediately killed that motor. Now, when we're like flying new students, I like to turn a power taxi into a flight without this huge buildup thing. The idea is we're going out to do another power taxi. They know that the full throttle command can come and we just work the full and it just lifts them away. Versus this huge like buildup. We're launching, we're going flying, and then they're all like screwed up in their head because as soon as you say you're gonna fly, everything goes out the window. I mean, I'm not gonna lie or anything, but that orange netting does look pretty good on that map.
Why is he flying your motor?
Because he is from Michigan, northern Michigan, and getting your equipment from Michigan to Utah can be difficult. So we offer motor rentals. Watch the brakes come down like flaps in an airplane and he holds. Beautiful technique. And the hands slowly go back up just like flaps in an airplane. This might turn into a flight. First flight with me. A little bit of throttle. There it is. Release those A's, breathe, a little more throttle, stand up straight, chest high, hold those brakes, squeeze to full, little more brake, little more brake, little more brake, little more brake. Good, squeeze to full. Hold it. Keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. Work your right hand up, a little bit more, right hand up, a little bit more, right hand up, a little bit more. Remember, we're not focused on the seat, we're focused on what? Gaining altitude. Beautiful. Okay, let's work those hands up slowly all the way to 0, if you can hear me. Beautiful job. Not a first flight, but a first flight with me. And it went well. Go ahead and get your hands as high as you can for me. Now I want you to very slowly work off that throttle. Very slowly work off that throttle. All the way to idle. All the way to idle for me. A little bit of right brake and hold. Kill the motor. Now breathe. One foot in front of the other. I want you to be ready to run. Brake. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Punch 3. Punch 3. Nice. Oh, we did it. You okay? We're good. You flew, how was it?
That's freaking awesome.
Been a minute, hasn't it?
Yes.
Feel good?
Yes.
Did it feel comfortable to you because it's been so long?
Yeah, absolutely. You're freaking awesome.
You're freaking awesome.
Trevor, what are you doing?
We are gonna install tip steering on your cubic because you haven't done that yet. I have this rule that when I'm tying in toggles, I don't do anything else and I don't stop halfway. It's a full commitment thing. I don't move, I don't get half distracted because it's easy to like tie it in all wonky and screw something up. And so when it's toggle time, it is only toggle time. Now, I can't recommend enough the game changer toggle. I hear they changed the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All it'll do is take this distance. The biggest thing is the distance from right here to right there will now be like a whole lot shorter. And so you'll get that much more flare authority right off the bat. Now, sometimes when I tie in tip steering, pilots all of a sudden start thinking like they got to fly totally different, and they worry that it's going to change your launch and your landing. Shouldn't change anything on your launch, shouldn't change anything on your landing. Only thing you'll notice is in the air, when you go to turn, it should take less effort. Because now, as you go to pull the brake, you're also engaging tip steering at the same time, which means you're getting more input with the same amount of effort. With wingovers, technically speaking, you should be getting more input with less effort. So wingovers should take less physical input. It's like the same turn that you used to have to pull to here to do, you have to pull to here to do.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. You bet. All right, guys, welcome to our ground school coffee shop. We go to a place called Beanies to Go here, local in Saratoga Springs, to do our ground school. We're going to go in there and we're going to talk about reserves and the process of throwing reserves, why you would throw it, when you would throw it. I've got some videos, I've got some diagrams, yada, yada, yada. We never neglect ground school. I think ground school is one of the most important pieces of paramotor training. It was caffeine time earlier, and now it's caffeine time again. And I'm a cup of coffee and an energy drink in, and I'm going to be 2 cups of coffee and an energy drink in a moment. I definitely feel way more important than I am walking around with a camera following me, and also slightly embarrassing, but I can deal with it, I suppose. Hi, how are you? I'm better now that I'm here. Welcome to the lair, the ground school location. Maybe one day I'll have a beard as good as that too. Let's talk a little bit about reserves. The first thing I want to talk about is the mindset you want to have around this item. I hope that if you have to use it, you're excited to use it. So the reason I say excited is I like to take the mindset of 1, I am absolutely, completely, and utterly committed to throwing it if I have to. When I take off, I feel the reserve and I say to myself, I'm totally okay using it. Because what you don't want is this hesitation. And the second one is being excited about throwing it. Because if instead of being disappointed or frustrated that you screwed up and need to throw it, you're excited to get it out and see what color it is, you get it out faster. And so those 2 mental commitments just reduce this mental struggle of getting the reserve out in the case that you need to get the reserve out. I don't like the argument of I only fly low, because what's the first thing that you do when you hit turbulence? Like, I need altitude, because altitude's more safer. So you start to climb. Now, very quickly, you're at reserve height. Also, I think reserve height is lower than people think. Under 100 feet, it's possible. Like 80 feet, 60 feet, it's possible. My uncle had thrown 2 reserves under 100 and both worked. I've watched a reserve get thrown under 100 feet and it worked. So I'm a firm believer that there's no altitude too low to not have a reserve. And I will argue against you to the end of time that even if you're a low flyer, you should have one. Because I guarantee you go above 100 feet at least once. And if stuff starts getting really turbulent and you're not clearly coming into land, you're probably climbing to get more altitude because it's safer. I spent every dollar I had to my name to buy what equipment I could. My mom loaned me money to buy a truck. I bought the cheapest trailer I could get my hands on. And I had just about 6 months in reserve. Or not even that. Like, yeah, winter of 2022 to 2023 was like really tight. And I took the risk. It's been great. I'm glad you did. Me too. I am glad I did as well. I sold my bike. I had to get rid of the dog because I had to free up all my time. I sold my camper. I sold my car. I got rid of everything. I liquidated all the stock in crypto that I had. I put it all on the table, dude. I said, all right. And I said to myself that if it doesn't work over the winter, by winter, I'll just go work at Starbucks and then I'll figure something else out. It's been a blessing. I'm really grateful. I'm really appreciative of my uncle for giving me the opportunities he did. He taught me this. It's by giving me the opportunity to do it. 2, I'm really grateful that the business worked. I worked really hard to make it work, but I'm really grateful. And I'm just excited. I have a great time. I'm not bored of teaching yet. It's not repetitive really yet. I still get excited. I like meeting you guys. I like building these relationships. I like helping. I think all of that is still super special to me. As long as it's special, I'll be here. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Thanks for sitting and chatting with me. Till next time. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
What are you heading out to do?
I have got to go get my tools from the airport that I forgot so that I can go back to the storage unit and fix a motor up for somebody who left it with me who's coming tonight to pick it up. So I've got to do that. I think I have to ship a prop too. We ship a lot of props around here. Actually, we ship a lot of things. And I always try and ship things the day that I get the order. So if I can get the prop out today, that would be super great. And maybe get an acai bowl. Are you an acai person? You ever had acai?
I do. I love it.
Oh, dude, there's real acai right here.
Really?
Not right here. But like around here,
Yeah.
they just opened up. I was thinking of going. Did you want to join?
Sure.
All right, let's go get Rio Acai.
Okay.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. We're trying a new style of content. I want to start being a little bit more personal with our content, showing a little bit more of the real world here of running a paramotor school and what that looks like and just all the nitty-gritty things that go along with it. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this video, what you would like to see in future ones. Do you want more of an integration into the nitty-gritty of teaching paramotoring or of running a paramotor school, of all of the things? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like button or dislike button, either one, I don't care, and I will see you guys all in the next video.